All right, what is up? It's your girl Lemon Drop, and I'm back with another video. I know I usually don't show myself, and it's usually because my hair is not done. So today I took the time to do my hair, and usually I'm wearing a hat too. So yeah. Anyways, so basically today, what I want to talk about is, do you have to pay taxes with Bitcoin? Simply put, your answer is yes. You do. For the longest, I thought you didn't. I thought the only taxes that you really had to pay were when you did a transaction, the transaction fee. But that's a lie. It's a huge lie, actually. As of recently, I'm just going to exit this. As of recently, on November 28th, there was something put into play. Let's just go. Yeah, I look up weird stuff. Or something put into place where you have to pay taxes. It's not really optional. Whether you're holding it, whether you received it, or no, not whether you're holding it. If you're holding it, they're saying you have to basically convert it into US dollars. It's not optional. Like, in order, it's taxable now. So, and if you don't, it's not going to be pretty. So, I guess I'll just read this article. I mean, you guys can read, but I guess I'll just read this article. So, on November 28th, 2017, the U.S. Senate Committee of the Judiciary held a hearing regarding Bill S-1241, modernizing AML laws to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. Despite little attention being given to digital currencies during the hearing, Bill S-1241 itself would amend the definition of financial institution in the United States Code to include digital currencies and digital exchanges. That is not good for anybody who prior to November 28th. It wasn't really a big deal, I'll say, but the fact that they're adding this clause in to make Bitcoin taxable tells you more than likely Bitcoin is on the rise. Of course, tomorrow is a big day. I hate to be off topic, but tomorrow is a big day because Bitcoin futures will be released under NASDAQ symbol CBOE, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be awesome, but the downfall to that is if you don't own one Bitcoin, you ain't trading shit. And that's just how that goes. And I don't own one Bitcoin, so I won't be trading shit. And I thought I was going to be good, but they said you have to have at least $10,000 that you're trading. And that's a big amount to want somebody to put in, seeing as nobody knows how this stock is going to go when it's new. But I'm pretty sure they don't want just any and everybody running up in there trying to trade. So that's also probably the reason why they made it so high. And they wanted serious investors only, I'm guessing. But back to the topic at hand. So I looked up a couple things to see if you had to, and I just typed in Google how to pay taxes on Bitcoin, and it says employees must report their total W-2 wages in dollars, even if earned as Bitcoin. Self-employed individuals with Bitcoin gains or losses from sales transactions also must convert the virtual currency to dollars as of the day earned and report the figures on their tax returns. Who the hell does that? I'm just saying. I mean, who do you know is going to convert however much Bitcoin they earn into US dollars immediately just to find out, just to report on tax? I mean, maybe there's some program out there that does it. I did, TurboTax does have an updated tax document. And I know we are getting close to tax time for the new year. And, a big portion of anybody who's in crypto, I'm pretty sure they have assets in Bitcoin, unless they're pro Litecoin. And I just, this is crazy because I knew of it, but I wasn't sure. I do remember watching a video where somebody was saying, it was a video on YouTube that I watched, where a guy was like, he went to his accountant or something like that, or the guy who he consults for his tax consultant, and tax consultant was saying, if you exchange it into US dollars, then it's taxable. If you don't, then it's not. And apparently that's incorrect now. Apparently you have to convert it. If you earn Bitcoin, regardless of whether you're investing in it or not, you still have to convert it into US dollars the day that you receive it so that it can be recorded, which is why some people do actually keep their own letters in Excel or wherever. Um, and which is why Coinbase actually has a feature that allows you to export all your records of from the beginning of time of all the Bitcoin you earned, how much you was at that point in time, all of that. Coinbase does let you do that. So that's actually a plus, and it makes your life very easy when it comes to you know, basically getting your Bitcoin taxed. I do know there was a notion in the Bitcoin community that Bitcoin is untraceable. That's a lie. And that you can avoid taxes through Bitcoin. That's a lie too. And if you're a noob, you probably thought that was true just like I did when I first started. However, that was not my motivation for starting. My motivation for starting was to be able to control my own money whenever I wanted to, not needing to go to or have a intermediary factor, meaning, a man in the middle or a bank, having to wait on them to confirm this, confirm that, when I could just, do it myself. So, yeah. So the TurboTax article, I will say, is very helpful. And this is actually recent right here. So, I mean, they just break it down as simple as day. While some of it is kind of confusing, this article is very helpful. So, you guys can read this article. I would definitely put this link in the description below. What else? If you are mining Bitcoin, you still gotta pay taxes. That don't mean shit to the government. I mean, and to be honest, it's crazy that this is happening because it's just like, to think that the government didn't create this entity. At first, it wasn't even recognized as any type of currency. It was recognized as a whole bunch of hoopla and a whole bunch of mess. And now, of course, Uncle Sam is going to do anything he can to get his dips in on the dollar. So it's just like, we went from it being decentralized to now, they are trying to put it in a centralized space, which is the prime example is Bitcoin futures that's releasing tomorrow, because they feel like it will bring investors. The blockchain in itself, I guess they want to invest into that, but it's just like, it was other ways to go about this. Like, they didn't have to do all this. I feel like they was just being extra. But the main key pointers, I should have highlighted some stuff right here, but I didn't. So if your employer is paying you in Bitcoin, there are W-2 forms that they specifically provide you. And that Bitcoin does have to be converted into US dollars, like I said before, at the current value of it, and then that's taxed. How much? I don't know. I do know, like I said, where did it say that? Right here. Can I get it? I can't do it. If the Bitcoins are held as a capital asset like stocks or bonds, any gain or loss from the sale or exchange of the asset is taxed as capital gain or loss. Otherwise, the investor realizes ordinary gain or loss on an exchange. And I heard, or I read actually, that, what was it? Wasn't it like, okay, so you'll have basically two categories of original income versus, I think, capital gain. And they were saying that capital gain was cheaper to tax than original income. Why? I don't know. That's what we're going on to. I mean, this is a completely new subject to me, so excuse me if I'm, have some stuff wrong, or if I'm all over the place. But this is something that I just thought of because I was like, yo, I have had, a good amount. And it's just like Trayvon James, all the big YouTubers. It's just like everybody who's really getting into cryptocurrency, you still got to pay taxes. Trayvon James still got to pay taxes on all that stuff. Him, Crypto Nick, Craig Grant, all of them. They still got to pay taxes on all that money that they're making. They got to pay taxes on it. And it's up to the people who they're sending it to pay taxes on the money they're receiving through BitConnect, through, Bitfinex, Bittrex, Binance, any exchanges they're using. And for the main, I think for the meantime, it's only Bitcoin. I know people may have other cryptocurrencies, and I think this goes for any digital currency. They don't say specifically Bitcoin, but I would suggest, just like this article does, that that you guys read this article, and anybody who owns Bitcoin, that you definitely take a look at this, because it's not anything. Tax evasion is nothing to be played with, and y'all know the government don't play when it comes to that. Let's just be real. So it's one of those things where it's just like, pay the money and move on. I'm gonna have to blur this out. I hate that I did that, but oh well. How can I get this to full screen? This should have just probably opened up a Word document or something. I might end up cutting this part of the video out. But anyways, yeah. So pay them taxes if you know what I know, because it's not looking too pretty for people who are thinking, oh, they could use Bitcoin because it's decentralized and I'm not gonna have to pay no taxes. It don't work like that. And anybody who I may have informed that it works like that, I apologize. I did not know. Now that this has come to fruition and they actually have put something, at first it may have been that way. That was kind of unclear, it was kind of murky, but now they're stating it clear as day. The bill criminalizes intentionally concealing ownership or control of a bank account. Although during the hearing no further clarifications were given as to the effects this would have on cryptocurrency community, based on the amended definition of financial institution, it seems clear enough that the bill would criminalize those intentionally concealing ownership or control of a digital currency or digital exchange account. And it says, wow, let this sink in for a minute. The bill is made to criminalize you, point blank period. Especially if you're concealing funds that you may be getting as, income from the government. And I mean, we in the US, everything gonna be taxed. Even Bitcoin. So, I found this article on Money, or in the money section on time.com. And, it says there's a hidden Bitcoin tax you need to know about. And although this is a older article, I think it's still relevant. So, let's see. So it says Scarlatos is sounding the alarm on the issue because few people realize that Internal Revenue Service does not view Bitcoins as a currency like the dollars in your wallet. Instead, Bitcoins are treated as property, which means they're subject to capital gains taxes. And that's what I'm trying to get at, if I haven't gotten to the point yet. Okay? How Bitcoin is taxed. So every time you purchase a sandwich or a video game with the cryptocurrency, you're essentially making two transactions. First, you are selling property, which is the Bitcoins, in the eyes of the IRS, and then you are using the proceeds of that sale to make a purchase, whether it's a sandwich or a credenza. And when property is sold, you must report the purchase on your tax forms. So Bitcoin is counted as property, basically. If your Bitcoins have appreciated in price since you first obtained them, and there is a great chance that they have, you're subject to capital gains tax when purchasing an item. For instance, imagine you bought a $3,500 bedroom set at Overstock.com. That's pretty expensive. Using $500 million or 50 million Satoshis that you purchased for $200 at the start of 2016. That represents a capital gain of $3,300 at a typical 15% long-term capital gains rate. That works out to a $495 tax hit. Are they crazy? What the fuck? Of course, if you spend appreciated Bitcoin that you've held for less than a year, that will be considered a short-term gain, taxed at ordinary income tax rates that can run as high as 39.6%. This is low-key pissing me off, because now I gotta do all the math with all the transactions I done made, try to figure out how much I ought to get. I got a headache already. You're technically required to list every purchase you made in any given year with Bitcoins, outlining the capital gain or loss from selling the digital currency to make the transaction, no matter how small. There's more. I don't want to hear anymore. There's more. The capital gains hit would come on top of the sales tax that you would pay for the item you wind up purchasing. Adding another fee to transactions using cryptocurrencies. Ignore the IRS at your peril. While some may ignore the issue, only 802 people reported Bitcoin profits to the 802 people. Have y'all seen the blockchain ledger? Like, what? That means mostly probably 90% of the Bitcoin community is in fraud and tax evasion. And so I do remember there was this rumor that, like, if you didn't spend over $10,000 in Bitcoin, you don't have to pay taxes. I do remember that being a widespread rumor. But I think that kind of came from the time period when Coinbase was going around and Coinbase was having an issue with the IRS, and IRS was saying, y'all have the names and numbers and contact information of people who have been, basically doing tax evasion, and they were trying to go after Coinbase and get, the people who, I think it was 2014 to 2015 or something like that. But yeah, anyways, so it says only 802 people reported Bitcoin profits to the IRS in 2015. It's important to remember that transactions are stored permanently within Bitcoin's network. This means a motivated IRS could easily find every purchase someone makes. On a larger scale, it's another issue that can hold back the mainstream appeal of a tool like Bitcoin. And honestly, I agree with that second to last sentence, but I don't at the same time. So that this means a motivated IRS could easily find every purchase someone makes. If they had their IP address, which a lot of people who use Bitcoin don't use, they use a VPN proxy or something like that. So that kind of would be hard to do, especially if the person has different addresses and different wallets and, 20 plus wallets. That kind of would be hard to track. But hey, the IRS always got I got dimples in my head and it's pissing me off. I just realized when I do like this, like I got dimples in my head. Anyways, on a larger scale, it's another issue that can hold back the mainstream appeal of a tool like Bitcoin. Complications such as this tax rule prevent it from growing as an everyday option for purchases. Ease of use gives Bitcoin value. The more difficult it is to use, the more Bitcoin's ultimate value suffers. Representatives Jared Polis and Representative David Schweikert, RRAs, have introduced legislation that will limit the reporting of purchases to anything above $600. Let me stop. It's something that will likely be discussed as efforts for tax reform move forward. Until then, the Bitcoin users will need to have a way to report all the transactions throughout the year to avoid the IRS's ire. Libra offers free software for individuals that links directly to an e-wallet, providing a spreadsheet of your transactions, or you can limit your spending with the currency, and there's nothing wild about that. Someone please call 911. Because I'm just like, Lord, this is a lot to take in. And mind you guys, this is information I'm going over for the first time. So don't be surprised at my shock. I'm just like genuinely shocked because I'm just like, yo, this not good. I mean, the way in the past month that I've been spending, and I didn't think shit. I mean, I knew, taxes are gonna come. When they come, I'll pay them. But other than that, it's just like, bruh, you gotta pay taxes that you make from regular income. Even though I only do this as a hobby. Like, literally, Bitcoin is a hobby for me. Trust me, I'm not making no major money with Bitcoin, okay? So it's just like, it's just a hobby to me. So what happens if Bitcoin is a hobby? Like, how are you taxed? I don't understand. So let's just go to Bitcoin.tax and some questions and answers. This may make it simpler. This is giving me a headache. Capital gains taxes. Most countries consider Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as capital assets, and so any gains made are taxed like capital gains. So if you make profits from selling your coins, those profits are taxed. If you make losses, you may be able to deduct the loss. That's what I'm talking about. If you make losses, you may be able to deduct the losses and reduce your taxes. What happens if I earn Bitcoins? Most countries will also consider earning of cryptocurrencies as a barter transaction or payment in kind. You are taxed if you have been given the equivalent amount of your country's own currency. So, for example, say your salary was paid in part cash, in part Bitcoin. And each month you receive $1,000 worth of Bitcoins. You are taxed like you just received $1,000. Damn. If you pay wholly in Bitcoin, say 5 BTC, then you would use the fair value. This would be the value that would pay if that you would pay if your normal currency was used, if no. Otherwise, you would use the price of Bitcoin at the time to establish your taxable income. This is actually a very helpful website. So let me go ahead and go into my pages. Put this link for y'all in the description too. Where was I at? So receiving tips or gifts. Laws on receiving tips are likely already established in your country and should be used if you are gifted or tipped any cryptocurrency. You will similarly convert the coins into their equivalent currency value in order to report as income if required. Do I need to file or pay if I own Bitcoins? Not if you just bought Bitcoins with your own money. However, if you traded, sold, or used any to purchase something, then you might. If you were given Bitcoins as payment, as a salary, or as a gift or donation, this is income and should be reported as any other income you earn. I didn't move any money out of the exchange. I just bought back in. What about then? Yes, a tax event occurred and you gained money, even though it isn't in your bank account. For tax purposes, it is treated no differently. I had a friend who thinks if he stores Bitcoin on a Shift card, that he doesn't have to pay taxes. Wrong. The exchange doesn't have my details and so can't report me. Should I still pay taxes? If you made gains for which you are required to pay taxes in your country and you don't, you will be committing tax fraud. Bottom line, I'll buy some things with Bitcoin directly. Do I owe taxes? Probably, but depends on your country. If it's considered as a tax event, then you are essentially exchanging Bitcoins for goods or services. You may have gain in doing so, and therefore it has to be reported. So, say you buy one BTC for $10. Now, say the Bitcoin is worth $100, and you buy a $100 gift card. You got a $100 gift card for only $10. That $90 is gains intaxable. So are you saying I have to report everything I buy with Bitcoin? Yes. If your country's tax authority has determined that gains are made when disposing of Bitcoins, like in the US, for example. What about if I bought some Ethereum or Litecoin? Potentially another tax event. Think of it as selling Bitcoins back to cash, then buying your other coins with that. That sale might have gains, and so it's treated the same way. US specific is what I should have been looking at this whole time. Where can I get real tax advice on Bitcoins? You may find your accountant may not be too familiar with Bitcoin. So we have put together a page of tax attorneys, CPAs, and accountants who have registered themselves knowledgeable in this area and might be able to help. And that's what I want to look at, because look here. I'm going to need to consult with somebody. I'm trying to go to jail. It's not the place for me. I'll go back. Oh yeah. Who have registered themselves as knowledgeable in this area and might be able to help. How are the IRS treating Bitcoins? The IRS produced guidance in 2014 on the specific treatment of Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies, which has helped clarify the situation essentially. Bitcoin is a personal property, not a currency, and so is taxed as a capital asset. Gains made from converting Bitcoins into a fiat currency are subject to capital gains tax. Purchases of goods or services with Bitcoins must also account for gains. Bitcoins and other altcoins obtained from mining is recognized income immediately at their fair value. Mining equipment can still be deducted as a legitimate business expense. Okay, it's good for miners. Tax events. Taxes potentially due when a tax event occurs. For Bitcoin, this is whenever they are converted into fiat currency or equivalent. This includes selling on an exchange, selling to another person, or buying goods or services. Each taxable event may create a gain, and as such, you need to know the date, cost, basis, sell amount, and any related fees. Some of y'all got some work to do, because look here. I'm about to find me somebody to do this because I ain't got time. I really don't. I'm going to have somebody because this is just a lot. Now I see what my dad did with kids. Oh know what I'm gonna do. It's a lot. Income from Bitcoin sales. When Bitcoins are sold, the income it generates can be offset against the cost, but any profit or losses are capital gains, which is taxable. You do not have to pay taxes on the Bitcoins themselves. And if you bought but never sold any within the year, you will have no tax liability. Interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. It is important to realize that the act of selling by trading is a taxable event, not when you transfer USD in or out of an exchange. Therefore, you are required to keep records of all your trades as well as their initial costs, sell amount, and fees. This, of course, is where it can get complicated, especially if you have been playing the market and have numerous trades. I want to shrivel up and turn to a little Vienna sausage, as you will report the gains made for each individual trade. And total gains and losses from all of your Bitcoin sales over the year will be accumulated and becomes your capital gain. This is then taxed appropriately. This is a lot of information, and I'm just gonna let y'all read the rest of this because this is a lot. And it actually goes into the trade like on exchanges how you can export. It goes into that, so it's pretty cool. If you see me guys look, if I'm looking down during this whole video, I'm looking at myself in the corner because it's just easier to, yeah. Anyways, I said we evaluate and update our supported exchanges as necessary. Some may also have become defunct. Although you might still have exported trade information you wish to import for Pasher at this time. This is also a general CSV import feature that can be used to import from other exchanges. You may have to copy the trade data from the website and put it into a spreadsheet and convert it into our standard format. Please contact us if there is an exchange that has an export that you'd like us to add. We'll look into it. I don't want to give you any personal information. All we require is that you log in with an email address or an associated Google account. We really don't know anything else about you. If you decide to upgrade, you can even pay anonymously with Bitcoin or use a credit card. Our card processor, Stripe, does a fraud check on your address, but we do not store those details. Once you are done, you can even close your account and we delete everything about you. Do you report my capital gains to the IRS? No, we aren't a tax preparation service, just a tool to help you do your own taxes. And I will be using this website because this is very, very helpful. I mean, significantly, like, I might sign up for this, but I know this video has been going on for a minute. This is the end of this video. Make sure y'all get them taxes did. That's all I got to say, because it's not gonna be pretty for some people who have been exchanging like large amounts, gaining a lot through BitConnect. Just all the, like, probably in the past month I started trading like crazy. So I gotta get on this because I'm just not. I don't have time for the IRS to be sending me no letters in the mail talking about some BCU yada yada yada, and I don't have time. Now if you buy Bitcoin and you essentially what I gained from all of this is if you buy Bitcoin and you didn't sell it, you may be good. If you just stored it within a year and you haven't sold it, it's just been sitting there, you may be good. But when you either convert to US dollars or you buy it in exchange for a good or a service, then you have to, you're held liable for taxes, basically. That's what I gained from this. I hope y'all gained something. I finally figured out how to record and show my face at the same time because I was really struggling with that. As y'all know, I just got a MacBook because I was really struggling. Before I go, I'm gonna let you guys know I will definitely leave these links in the description because a lot of y'all gonna need it. I want to thank y'all for my 131 subscribers. I got a new subscriber. Thank you. When I probably get to 300, 400 subscribers, I think I'm going to do a giveaway, a Bitcoin giveaway. And I'll give the details on that, just to thank you guys for your hospitality. And do know I do not get paid for these videos because I do not have 10,000 views yet. So when I reach that and I actually start getting paid from YouTube, I may try to do something, a little something. But I'm basically in the revamping phase for my whole channel. I noticed probably my very first video, I probably got 2,000 views. And Jedi Knight, you know, I'm what's up? But I definitely did when I did I reposted a video that he did, got a couple of views from that. But ever since that, my views have been going horrible. So I'm trying to like integrate my face into it to be like more of an interaction type of thing. And I hope I dropped some information that was helpful to y'all. I'm out. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get notifications whenever I drop a video. I have not gotten on a set schedule yet, so about that. So I will try to drop videos whenever I can. I don't know about daily. I'm not Crypto Nick, okay? I got a job. Okay, so right. Comment, like, subscribe. This video helped you. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave comments in the description box of your any questions you may have. Also, do not spam my videos with your little links, your referral links, because I will block you from this channel. And I have no problem doing it. I give zero fucks. I will block you from this channel. So yeah, and I know I'm not that big of a YouTuber to be doing that, but when I made my first video, I made it very clear. Do not leave referral links to my videos. I ain't doing it to anybody when they was starting their YouTube, and I don't want nobody doing it to me. Just to be honest, I've never done that. I never will do that unless they said we could, which was never. So please don't leave your referral links in my videos. Thank you very much. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm out. Imaginary music in my head.